And finally, new rule. Well, here we are, the Friday before Election Day, and at least one of my predictions was right on the money. It's tied, as it always is. That's just who this country is now. Two tribes, united by a history, but maybe not a future. I'm sticking with my other prediction that Harris is going to win, but I can't say I'm not nervous that the election is in the hands of a small cohort of undecided voters, those curious few bisexuals of the political world. Oh, everybody loves to mock, but I see it as more of a personality thing. I call them the Christmas Eve shoppers of politics. They know the big day is coming, but they just can't get themselves to do anything about it until the last minute. My father was that guy with Christmas. He would do all his Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve night, an hour before the stores closed. He would go to a single department store with no idea what he was going to get. But that's why a department store is great. Oh, look, toys. I got kids, they like toys. Done. And actually, he was a great gift giver because he felt you had to be fully in the Christmas spirit to go Christmas shopping. And being in the store at that hour with Santa and the music and the tree and the whole production going on, it served as kind of a muse for picking presents. And I think there are people who feel the same way about the voting booth. So let me have a word with them. Hi, Christmas Eve voter. Look, you obviously don't like Trump, or you'd be in that camp already, but you're still torn. And I'm the guy who keeps saying, I get why. You wanted more reassurance that the Democrat isn't going to go along with every aggressively anti-common sense idea that comes out of the woke mind virus, which, yes, is a thing. And if she loses, that will be mainly why. And part of that mind virus is progressive phobia, Steven Pinker's term for the liberal fear of ever admitting when things are actually good. As The Economist puts it about America today, an economy with an unemployment rate of 4% and a per-person GDP of $85,000 does not have to be made great again. It is great. And yet, the economy is the Christmas Eve voters' other big issue, and they think it's terrible, when actually it's bigger and better than ever. Makes Arnold Palmer's dick look like nothing. When we were coming out of the pandemic, every economist predicted we were headed for a recession and all the horrible things that come with it. But, much like Trump's girlfriends, those things never came. The truth about America today, what Democrats should have been selling is everything that should be low and down is. Unemployment, low. Black unemployment, low. Poverty rate, low. Gas prices, down. And everything that should be up and high is. Manufacturing, real wages, the stock market, personal spending, personal savings, oil production. The U.S. now produces more energy than it uses, which is saying something since we have Las Vegas. Where I'll be tonight. But it's sold out, so sorry. Mississippi. Mississippi is America's poorest state, but its residents earn, on average, more than Canada, Germany, or England. That's right. We're beating the axis of beer. If Trump was president with this economy, it would be 24/7 of we have the greatest economy ever in the history of the world, maybe the universe. Many people are saying it. But Trump isn't president now, so you get this.
Now you have millions and millions of dead people, and you have people dying financially because they can't buy bacon, they can't buy food, they can't buy groceries.
That's right. In this reality, if you don't get bacon, you'll die. Which is also what my dog thinks. But here on Earth One, it's not actually like that. The vast majority of Americans make it to the Piggly Wiggly and back alive. Yes, everything at the dollar store costs $1.50 now, but Biden didn't invent food costs money. And what caused the inflation was shutting the entire country down and paying everyone $6 trillion to stay home because a bad flu was going around. And Trump and Biden both did that. Everybody took the money, and I don't see anyone in this crowd handing back the checks. But who brought inflation down further and faster than any other country? The United States, bitches. It peaked here in 2022 and since has dropped like a rock to 2.4%. Biden tamed it without causing a recession, which is like catching a SpaceX rocket with your butt cheeks. The phrase I hear so much that makes me just want to unalive myself is, how's she going to help me? Like the president is your personal genie. It's Kamala, not Kazam. And it's a government, not an insurance company. I don't know if Kamala worked at McDonald's, but she's not Flo from Progressive. You think you're living in the Second Great Depression because you can't buy a full foot of sandwich for $5? Maybe you're not looking at the actual numbers. Maybe your hat's too tight. And undecideds, you should be voting Harris because of the economy. But undecideds don't get that message because Democrats can't make the words, "things aren't so bad," ever come out of their mouths, lest someone somewhere accuse them of not caring enough about people who are struggling. But even in a good economy, some segment of society will always struggle with money, mostly liberal arts majors. And so, dear Christmas Eve voter, I say to you, things aren't that bad, but they might get a hell of a lot worse under the rule of a mad king. Do I love everything about Kamala? No. Who told you you get to love everything? Do I wish she came up with a better reason to be president than I'm not Trump? Yeah, it would have been very helpful. But let's not forget, I'm not Trump is still a really great reason.